Welcome to Let's Get Real, the show that tells the truth about love, sex, and relationships. This program is for mature adults only. Watch at your own risk, as the truth can have life-changing consequences. This show does not give advice. The information provided is accurate to the best of our knowledge. The opinions stated are those of the person speaking. And the truth, well, the only truth that matters is your own. For more information, visit www.gettingreal.tv. Viewer discretion is advised. Now, here's your hosts, David and Darlene Steele from Relationship Coaching Institute.
Welcome to Let's Get Real. Today's episode is about keeping secrets in marriage.
Scott from St. Paul writes, "My wife is accusing me of having an affair with a woman at work and is threatening to divorce me. It's not true. Before I met my wife, I did date this woman for about a year. I never told her, but somehow she found out. I don't think I should have to tell my wife everything I've done or am doing in my life. It had no bearing on my dating and marrying her, but she's accusing me of keeping secrets and is demanding I give her a rundown of my past. What's the big deal? It's not a secret. It's just something I chose not to share because it's irrelevant. I love my wife. I don't have affairs and I never would. What's healthy for couples when it comes to their past? Is there anything wrong with keeping secrets from your partner? I'm not hurting her or me or anyone, and I've never asked her to give me the details of her past relationships. Any thoughts?"
Well, Scott, you asked the question, what's wrong with keeping secrets from your wife? And I think her behavior is telling you exactly what's wrong with keeping secrets from your wife. She's not just reacting to the woman that you used to date. She's reacting to your pattern, your habit of withholding information. Now, withholding information means keeping secrets. So she clearly doesn't like that and is not trusting you and suspicious of, well, if you're withholding information about that, what else are you withholding?
So Scott, it sounds like your position is that keeping secrets is okay, and that attitude really is a problem for your wife. It's just not working for her.
Your keeping secrets is causing your wife not to trust you, even if you're not doing anything wrong. You know, we really get that you're loyal, you're not doing anything wrong, but the keeping secrets part is causing your wife to suspect that you might be doing something wrong, even if you're not doing wrong.
Right, so how would she know? How would she know if you're not doing anything wrong?
And the thing about keeping secrets, I mean, you know, kids generally learn this pretty fast, that the parents always seem to be able to figure it out. It's almost like they have eyes in the back of their head. And why is that? It's because if something's off, if something's being held back, we can sense that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's something going on, we don't know what it is, so we can sort of sense that not everything is out on the table. So if you have kids, you'll definitely, know that about your kids. You can spot it if they're not telling you something and they know they should.
Yeah.
Well, same with your wife. Your wife can sense it, she can spot it. She doesn't know what it is, and from your position, you're not doing anything wrong, but by not telling her, that really gets in the way, and she suspects that you probably are doing something wrong. Otherwise, why wouldn't you say so?
And part of why I think that might be a problem for her is when you're a part of a committed couple, part of that is intimacy. And intimacy is really knowing that other person. It requires you to just know everything about them. And that means that you need to reveal yourself to your partner. You need to just be open to your partner so that they can understand you.
And different people have different needs for intimacy. Some people have a very high need for intimacy. They really want to connect emotionally, really want to talk a lot. And other people have a lower need for intimacy, that, it's just fine to live like roommates. Well, chances are your wife would like intimacy with you. She would like to know what's going on for you. She would like you to talk about your life, your thoughts, your feelings, and your past. And you might not see the need for it.
Oh, but he does. The thing that, how you can see it is that she is not understanding you fully, that you really are committed to her and you wouldn't cheat. She's not getting that. And the reason she's not getting that is because you're not opening yourself all the way up to her. That's what intimacy will bring you. It will bring you to the place where she's going to understand exactly what you're meaning by your behaviors.
Right. And the thing about a committed relationship is that this is your special person. This is the one person in your life that you let all the way in, that you lower your boundaries and you let them in ways that you don't let anybody else in. And if you don't, then your wife is going to feel like you're pushing her away, even if you don't mean to.
Right.
So another thing that's very, very important here is that in a good relationship, you prioritize your partner's happiness. You don't discount their needs. Say, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Don't be ridiculous. So if your partner has a need or an issue, you don't discount that. You prioritize that. So, and trust me that you're not going to have a happy life or happy marriage unless you have a happy wife. So you can be right or you can be happy, but you can't have both. And in my experience, to have a successful, happy relationship and marriage, you must prioritize your partner's happiness, in this case, your wife. And it would be great if your partner, like your wife, prioritizes your happiness, so you're both doing it for each other. Mm-hmm. To me, that is the formula for a happy relationship. So right now, you are discounting your wife's need for intimacy and transparency, and your life and your relationship and your marriage and your wife would be so much happier if you would shift your attitude on that a bit.
Right. So here's a couple strategies you can consider. The first one is, clearly you need to build trust. And really the only way to build trust is through communication and sharing. So one of the things that we recommend is that you actually find a way to structure sharing into your life. So for an example, you might decide that you have a daily check-in time. Every day, the same time, you sit on the couch and have a cup of coffee and you check in with each other, or you take a walk together or something like that. And you really check in and you're not just talking about the weather, you're really sharing yourself with each other.
And during check-in time, you share everything you possibly can. Not only what happened, but your reaction to what happened and how you felt and what went on for you. And the more you share, the more intimate you are being. And if your wife asks you questions, then answer the question as thoroughly and completely and as transparently as possible. You never, ever, ever respond to your wife's question and say, oh, well,
doesn't matter.
That's private.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's private.
Yeah.
Because remember, in a marriage, lower the boundaries. There is no such thing as privacy or secrets in a close, committed relationship.
Yeah, and I think this might feel a little bit scary to a lot of people, and especially if you're not one of those people who likes to talk a lot or, feelings, so don't want to have to share feelings.
So if you're an introvert or you're a private person, and some introverts tend to be very private people, so you might be both, then being married and having to not be private, having to open yourself up to somebody, that might be a challenge and it might be scary, but you're married now. You're in a committed relationship, so you get a chance to work on that every day. So another thing we really highly recommend that you do is have a conversation with your wife and find out, what does she need to be able to trust you? So there's what you think is right and what will work for you, but there's also your wife's reality and your wife's needs and what will work for her. You need to find out what will work for her and be responsive to that.
Right. So maybe she wants to be able to look at your cell phone, see what calls you've had, or see what texts you have,
or your email,
or maybe it might just be that she wants a daily check-in, and that might feel okay for her. So I mean, it could be just about anything.
And she probably wants to be able to ask you something and to have a positive response and to tell your truth to her about that, rather than to have a shutting out kind of response like, oh, well, that was a long time ago. We don't need to talk about that. So find out what your wife needs and be responsive to that. What does she need to trust you? What does she need to feel intimate and close and connected with you? And you can't lose. That's the way to go.
So we have a compassion exercise you might want to try. So imagine if she was spending money and not telling you what she was spending it on, or she was receiving text messages and telling you, oh, I don't have to tell you everything that's going on in my life. So how would that feel to you? Would that be okay if she, if the shoe was on the other foot, if she was doing that to you? How would that feel?
I'll tell you, if you were spending money and you wouldn't tell me what it was about, we'd have a problem. And, or if you were receiving text messages and hiding them and not letting me see them, I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
So put the shoe on the other foot, find out what it would like to be her, and would that be okay with you? Chances are it wouldn't.
And even chances are, if right away you'd go, oh yeah, that'd be fine. If you really think about it, it probably wouldn't.
Right. So finally, Scott, we have a program in radical relationships we call radical intimacy. So there are lots and lots of strategies about how to develop intimacy and build intimacy. You don't have to do everything, but if you're wondering about how intimacy works and how to do it better and how to do it more effectively and how to kind of break through some of your own resistance and barriers to doing that, we do recommend that you join our Radical Relationships video program. Go to gettingreal.tv, put your name and email address in the box there, and you'll be given access to the Radical Relationship video series. Radical Intimacy is the one that I'm recommending for you.
It's a great idea.
So, if you have an idea, a suggestion, or comment for Scott, please enter it in the comment box below, and let's help him deal with keeping secrets in his marriage.
And please do remember that telling the truth has consequences. It really is the only way to have a fulfilling relationship, but not all relationships can handle the truth. So if this is your situation, please do get the support you need from a qualified therapist, counselor, or coach. No one is successful alone, and just a little bit of support can go a long way in helping you live happily ever after.
So thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.
You've been watching Let's Get Real, the show that tells the truth about love, sex, and relationships. For more information, more episodes, and to join the free Getting Real Club, visit www.gettingreal.tv. May you live the life you love with the love of your life.